Heads up team, because it is time for the Viz Got Manga Summer Reading Book Club. I am Michelle Wynn Bradley, and I am super excited for this week's club discussion. We'll talk all about today's featured manga so that you can tackle the official reading guides with your friends, provided by Pop Culture Classroom. This week's title is RWBY. RWBY, the official manga, is written and illustrated by Bunta Kanami and is based on the anime created by Monty Oum. RWBY Volume 1 is an epic fantasy action adventure about a group of students at Beacon Academy, an elite high school where the homework includes fighting evil monsters called the Grimm and learning how to use your favorite battle weapon. We follow the new Beacon Academy student, Ruby Rose, whose brilliance in combat is matched only by her anxieties about being the new kid at school. She and her classmates are quickly thrust into training to become elite warriors known as huntsmen and huntresses. With the fate of humanity and the world's future at stake, they soon realize they'll have to put their fears, judgments, and differences aside in order to defeat the forces of darkness. For Ruby, this means overcoming her insecurities and becoming the leader that her team truly needs. RWBY's official reading club guide can be found in the link in the description below, and don't forget to share it with your friends so that you can create your very own Viz Summer Reading Book Club. Alright everyone, from here on in, we are entering spoiler country. Be careful because you have been warned. So, let's jump into action with RWBY. RWBY is an action-packed manga that takes place in the world of Remnant, where inspiration from fairy tales has been reimagined into an exciting story that explores not only mysteries and adventures, but also personal growth and the need to depend on others. So let's take a look at the themes that make this manga a one-of-a-kind experience. The most prevalent theme in this manga is teamwork. There is obvious drama between these four main characters when they first meet, especially between Ruby and Weiss, but as the title of the manga indicates, you the reader know that eventually they will all be forced to work together. And getting to that part is what makes Volume 1 so much fun. Throughout the stories, the characters go through a period of distrust in each other and, you might even say hatred. But when faced with a dangerous situation, they come to the conclusion that they must work together. Great teamwork is actually a machine of many moving parts. You need several things to make it work effectively, and those are our other themes that we're going to cover in this manga. So, trust. Weiss, the snooty heiress who argues with Ruby at the beginning of the story, is teamed up with her during the first school challenge because, of course. Although Weiss is annoyed by Ruby at first, she learns that she can trust her because Ruby has a keen eye for technical content. It becomes very obvious very quickly. And she also has passion to become a huntress. Eventually, Weiss decides to stop avoiding Ruby and acts like a real partner to her, even saving her from a beast at the end of chapter 3. Blake has a similar epiphany after witnessing this newfound teamwork between Weiss and Ruby, and she decides to believe in both of them because she wants to also do her best, and she decides to follow Ruby's plan to defeat the Nevermore, which is the giant bird creature. And of course, Yang trusts all of them because she loves Ruby, and she's also just super happy-go-lucky and is willing to kind of trust anybody, so we got all four teammates trusting each other. Very good. So now that all the teammates trust one another, now it's essential to have leadership. A good team has a strong leader, but a good leader isn't necessarily the most powerful. It's the one who understands all the members of the team the best. During the first school test, Ruby becomes sort of the unofficial leader of the group of four because she's the one who has the plan to defeat the Nevermore. She's able to observe her peers and quickly assess their strengths and then create an effective plan to defeat the beast. Ruby proves herself to be a capable strategist, and her team trusts her to make the right call. Okay, now with a foundation of trust and a good leader, it's also important that all teammates have passion. A team works best together when each member shares a similar passion or dream. Ruby states her goal in a simple and straightforward way, inspiring her friends. She says, "I've decided to be a hero that saves everyone," like in the storybooks. Although Ruby's classmates are very skeptical of her at first, they come to respect her passion and her goal-oriented approach to attending Beacon Academy, as they all share the same dream. We have trust, passion, and leadership, but now we also need each team member to bring something different to the table. Which brings us to our next pillar of teamwork, diversity. Each team member of RWBY boasts a unique ability that adds to the team's fighting dynamic. The diversity of powers that each team member brings to the team are the abilities that are created by each character's aura. So Ruby has super speed from her aura, but she also has her brain that is very good at tactical thinking. Weiss can make sigils, Blake can make decoys of herself, and Yang can convert damage and make energy bursts, but most importantly, she is the peacekeeper of the team. Although each team member is their own person, they can only effectively work as a team if they bear individual responsibility. So what does responsibility mean here? It means that if one person makes a mistake, they have to own up to it, especially if that mistake is part of a larger plan that their teammates are depending on them for. During the fight with the Nevermore, each member of the team sticks with their designated part of Ruby's plan, and because none of them strayed, they were able to execute it cleanly, although it didn't work. Which brings us to the last essential part of teamwork: resilience. Despite the team's initial failure in defeating the Nevermore, they stick together and encourage Ruby to come up with another plan, letting her know that they have her back until the end. Ruby is able to quickly devise another strategy thanks to the support of her team. It's clear that there are many dangers awaiting the newly formed Team Ruby after Volume 1, so each of the Huntresses in training are going to need resilience in spades to make it through. Teamwork is truly at the heart of the story of Ruby. Without teammates, defeating monstrously sized beasts in the wild would be too much for any one person, but together we see that Team Ruby is already on its way to accomplishing great things together. Okay, so I'll admit that the school's arbitrary rule to take all of the students that are new, that have just arrived, throw them off a cliff into Grim territory, and then force them to become partners with the first person they see is like pretty hardcore, right? Am I missing something? Because remember the analogy that Yang uses about lions dropping their cubs off cliffs? Okay, first of all, actual lions don't do that. It's not true, please Google it. It is, however, an ancient proverb, and it just means to strengthen someone by throwing them into an experience without too much help. A test of fire, if you will. But what would have happened if they hadn't found each other when they were thrown off that cliff? So what do you think of this method of teaching? Is it the sort of thing that kind of only happens in manga, or do you have an experience with something like this too? Please, let us know in the comments. Gather your own team together and get talking about Ruby with even more discussion and activity ideas in the official Ruby Reading Club guide in the link in the description below. Also below are links to our previous episodes about My Hero Academia, Komi Can't Communicate, and Beastars. You can read Ruby via digital download or purchase the physical manga at viz.com. Thank you all for joining in the fun for today's Got Manga Viz Summer Reading Book Club. I have been your study buddy, Michelle Wynn Bradley. Until next time, everyone, keep on reading. And Yang can convert energy and make energy bursts. Heh. And Yang can convert Ruby. Because it's German, it's like Weiss, right? Or is it Weiss? I gotta pull up YouTube. Feeling pretty good about this. Gotta wait for the fire trucks to stop going woo-woo outside. Please stop, fire trucks. You're super loud and I can hear it in my video.